afternoon, filmmaking friends, and welcome back. I hope you guys are all doing great. Today is a very boring day. We have the worst weather ever. It's Monday, but I decided to sit down and make a video for you guys. So as you might know, at the beginning of this year I switched to Sony cameras. I now use the Sony a6500, which is this camera here. And when I first got into Sony, I was super confused with all their picture profiles and different settings that you can use to record video. But after playing around with it and testing a lot of different things, I finally found the perfect picture profile for the Sony a6500 and basically for all Sony cameras. And in this video here I would like to share that picture profile and the settings that I use to record my videos with you guys, so that you can apply the same settings on your Sony cameras and get a cinematic look. One thing that I would like to mention right away, you can download my custom picture profile for free. It's the first link below. I created this, this document that you can download, this photo, and then you have all the settings listed. If you just want to quickly go through it and apply it to your camera. This video is probably not the funniest. I mean, it's very much just going into the camera and changing a few settings. But later on I'm thinking about going outside and getting some rainy clips and showing you the differences between different picture profiles like S-Log and Cine2. But we will see what I can do. I promise though that cool videos are coming. For tomorrow I planned a cool video. You've maybe already seen it in my Instagram story. Tomorrow I'm going to do a POV photography. That's going to be epic. But for the next 5 minutes I'm just going to show you the screen and what I changed to get the perfect look for the camera. If you do find it interesting, you're welcome. Let's go. Before I show the picture profile, make sure that everything on your camera is set and that everything is ready to record video. Go into the video mode up here and then go into the menu and select picture profile, and then you're ready to start. Maybe I should explain this for those of you that don't know it yet. A picture profile is basically the way that the camera records the colors and shadows and highlights. Once you start to get more into filmmaking, you find out that you need to use, or that you should use, a flat picture profile, which at the beginning looks very strange and weird, but in the end it allows you to have a better dynamic range, and that means that both blacks and highlights can be exposed better. And if you shoot in a flat picture profile, you need to color grade your footage, and it is more for the advanced filmmaker. If you're just starting out, I would recommend maybe shooting the standard picture profile that is set on your camera. But once you start to get into it a little bit more, you will want to use picture profiles to get more out of your camera, and then it all depends on the color grading process. But that's a whole nother video. Let's start with this. Okay, welcome to my camera. This is the Sony a6500 and you see the screen here. So let's start by clicking menu here. Let's click on menu, and then here are the different pages. Let's go all the way up to the tabs here, and then we are going to go to the first tab, which is the red tab here, the camera settings, and then let's go down here and scroll all the way forward until page 11. On page 11 it says picture profile, and then go on picture profile. Then this opens up. I made it a little darker so that you can see it. So here you have the different picture profiles that are standard. Here you can choose picture profile off, then you don't have a picture profile, then you just have the standard colors, which often look quite contrasty, and yeah, it's the color straight off the fabric, Sony fabric. So if you go down there are different picture profiles, and to start this, just choose one of them. It doesn't really matter which one, just go into one of them and remember which one it was. For this video I'm going to customize this here PP4, so let's click here. And now this menu opens up and there are a lot of different settings. This is quite complicated, I would say. So let's just start here. You can choose black level. With black level I usually like to go up. That means that the blacks come out a little bit, they fade a little bit, and that gives me a flat look. I like that. And I usually bring this to +3 or +4, and usually have it to +3 here. Next up, gamma, which is a very important setting. In gamma you can really decide how your picture looks like. You have a lot of different options here. Movie is the standard option from the fabric. Then you have Cine 1, 2, 3 and 4, which are very popular looks. And then you have the S-Log 2 and S-Log 3, which you've maybe heard before. They are very popular as picture profile. I try to use them. I'm not that much of a big fan of them. For different reasons. I usually shoot in Cine2, so let's select Cine2. I find Cine2 to be the best gamma setting for the Sony a6500, but I will talk more about that later. Let's come to the black gamma. Here you can choose the range. I usually keep this at middle, And then the level and the black gamma is similar to the first one that we changed. It also affects the blacks and brings them up, so we are going to bring that up too. We want that for our flat look. Again, +3 here. Menu to go back, and then knee. Knee is pretty much the same thing, but for the highlights, for the white tones. So I set the mode to manual so that I can change it, and then I go to manual set. I set the point lower than it was set here. I will go down to 80, and that's going to soften our highlights. And the slope, I'm going to keep that. I don't really know honestly what that does. I don't think that it really matters. Then color mode is important though. There are also a few different options. Movie is the standard. I always shoot in pro mode. With saturation I'm going to bring that down. In post later I can always bring that up. And then I can choose which colors to saturate most. So I'm going to bring that down to -4. And then next up color phase, I'm going to leave that. Color depth. The Sony cameras have very interesting colors. Here are all the color channels. I usually bring down the cyan here to -2 and the magenta also to -3, because Sony cameras often tend to have very saturated magenta and cyan. But I'm going to bring up the yellows because oftentimes the skin tones, which is yellow, has not much saturation for me, so I'm going to bring that up to +3. And the red and the green and the blue slider, I usually bring up the red, green to +2 and the blue to +1. This seems pretty complicated, and I feel like it doesn't make a lot of difference. In the end, the big difference makes gamma and color mode, but these are just the fine details, and what you should do is bring up the yellows to get better skin tones and bring down these two because they often seem too saturated in the Sony cameras. So let's go back, and there's one more step, which is detail. Let's go into detail. Now it is set to 0. I'm going to set it to -4 for my 1080 footage because that often looks too sharp and too detailed. So it makes it a little softer and not that sharp. Later on in post I can always bring that up. And that was it for my picture profile. That were all the settings. Now you could copy it here and paste it to PP1 for example. I have a pro tip for you that I use. So if you go outside now and you are now in this main menu here and you go back outside and now you would like to change picture profiles fast, as the Sony cameras can be customized, almost every single button. I have this button here, and if I press the button, my picture profiles open and I can choose between different picture profiles that I set. I also have a S-Log2 picture profile and some others, so you can set your favorite picture profiles here, and that is how it works. If you would like to see all the settings listed up again, you can download the thing below. Okay, we are now currently outside. This is now the part where I show the different picture profiles when I use them. I'm now going to film a few things in different picture profiles. First up I'm going to show the standard, how that looks like with a little bit of color grading, then the Cine2, the one that I recommend and that I use, and then also the S-Log2 or S-Log3, which is very popular. To end this we are going to try out these 3 different picture profiles and see what we can get with a little bit of color grading and which one might be best for you. So let's get this. We have our Sony a6500 here, and as I said before, I can choose my profile here with this button. So let's start with the PP off, the standard colors from Sony, and we're going to take a shot of the forest here. Then you can see why you might use it or might not use it. As you can see, this profile and these colors look very standard. They have a lot of contrast and very deep blacks. These colors are for everyone that is just starting out. They're perfect for starters because you have everything set how it should be. Then next up we have the Cine2, which is my favorite picture profile and the one that you might use as well. So let's get a couple of shots, the same shots with that. You just saw the sequence with the Cine2, my picture profile. It is way different, it is way flatter, and it takes color grading to make it look like something. And I would say it's not for the beginner because you need to have editing software where you can color grade and use LUTs and stuff like that. So it's more for the advanced, but you can get a great look with it and it gives you a lot of dynamic range. Then lastly we have S-Log2. I'm going to do the same shots in S-Log2 and let's see what that is like. This this was S-Log free, and as you can see, it is very flat. You couldn't post this like this or share this with anyone. It is only white and very flat, and it takes a lot of color grading and also a lot of practice, I would say. It is more for cinema stuff, and I like using it, but for the everyday vlogs and videos like that, it is too much work to color grade. It is definitely a great picture profile, just a little too much and a little too much work for me. So I would say Cine2 is better. Now I'm going to capture a few more things on the Cine2 picture profile. I'm going to make a little edit so that you can see what you can do with the colors also, and then I'm going to go home to end this video. Okay, thanks for watching this video. Now I'm back home. I hope you find this interesting, and I hope you now know which picture profile to shooting with your Sony cameras. This video was only dedicated to Sony shooters of us, but anyway. Ich probiere gerade ein Video zu machen. Annoying guy. Anyway, if you do have any further questions about color grading and colors and cinematic look and stuff like that, you can leave them below, and we can make a little series out of that and try to talk a little bit about it on this channel. And so you are going to see a lot more videos from me about topics like this soon. Thanks for watching, peace out, and